you guys, are you ready for the tour? This is fire station number 6. Let's go.
Hi, Kathy. How you doing?
Hi, Chief.
Who do we have here?
We have got some wonderful kids from the community, and they are so excited to learn more about the fire department.
Well, welcome to fire station number 6. I'm really excited to have you guys here, and you guys are going to learn a lot about the fire station and get to meet the firefighters.
Well, I tell you what, you guys go with the chief, and I'll see you after the tour.
Good to see you.
All right, good to see you.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you soon.
Follow me, boys and girls.
Bye, darling. Have fun, you guys. See you later.
Come on in. Very good. This is our first room that I want to talk about, and this is what we call a watch room. And this is where the firefighters get their information. When they're dispatched on a call, they actually get a printout, which is a piece of paper that has some information on it. It has the address that they're going to, and it has the nature of the call. So they have an idea of what kind of call they're going to. It may be a medical emergency, it may be a structure fire, it may be a flood. So that's how they respond to a call. But besides getting that printout on a piece of paper, they also get that information over a loudspeaker system that we have. And you're going to hear a sample of that where the dispatch office gives them the information. So we're going to be very quiet, and we're going to get to hear a sample of what they would hear before they respond to a call.
Welcome to fire station number 6. This is Irving Fire Dispatch Office, and this is how we would notify the firemen and paramedics of an emergency call. We hope you enjoy your visit to fire station number 6.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's called using technology. Well, boys and girls, this fire station, as I mentioned earlier, we call it a firehouse, and this is basically our house. This is where the firefighters spend an entire day. They actually have a unique schedule. They work 24 hours on, and they're off for 48 hours. So today, this is B shift. We have A shift, B shift, and C shift. Today, it's B shift. They came in at 7 o'clock in the morning, they work for 24 hours, and then they leave tomorrow morning. And you know, just like your house, we have this, our house, a firehouse. And it has bedrooms and kitchens, and we also have safety devices. And a safety device that I want to talk about is a smoke detector. And that unit up there happens to be a carbon monoxide detector. And it looks a lot like what I have here, and this is a smoke detector. This is something very important that you should have at home. You should have at least one smoke detector at home and one in every bedroom. And it's also very important to change the battery. Inside the smoke detector is a battery, and we're supposed to change the battery twice a year. And people say, Chief Molina, how do I keep up with that? And that's very simple. We change our clock twice a year, in the spring and the fall. So we change our clock, we change our battery. We do that twice a year. The other thing that's important is to test our smoke detector, and it has a small button here, and all we have to do is press that small button and hold it down for a few seconds, and it starts to beep. We release it, and then it quits. So remember, we change the battery twice a year, and we test our smoke detector every month. Not only is it important to have a smoke detector, but it's also important to have a carbon monoxide detector. Now I want to talk about another safety device that we should have at home. What you see here is a fire extinguisher. I'm going to open this compartment here, and what we see is a large fire extinguisher. And this is something that we should have at home. But that's a pretty large one. At home, we can have a smaller unit, just like the one I have here. So your job is to go back home and tell Mom, Dad of the importance of having a fire extinguisher at home. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Very good, excellent. Now we get to meet the firefighters. Follow me. This is the crew from fire station number 6. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Say hi to the firefighters.
Hi.
Very good. Let me introduce you to the station officer. This is Lieutenant Kowal, and he's going to introduce the other firefighters and tell you a little bit about what they're doing.
How are you guys today?
Good.
All right. We have Firefighter McGuire, Firefighter Hurd, FEO Jenkins, and Firefighter Williams. This is a crew of Engine and Medic 6. And they're doing a little bit of training right now. There's a lot of training that we do as firefighters every day. A little bit of class all the time. We're always going to school, so we try to keep up with it different ways. Sometimes we actually go to class, sometimes we read books, and today we're watching a video.
So boys and girls, as you can see, the firefighters were watching a training video, and this is what they do. And as Lieutenant Colwell mentioned, sometimes they do outdoor training and sometimes they do indoor training, and today they were watching a safety video. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see where the firefighters cook and eat. So let's just turn around and let me tell you about this. Remember I said that a fire station is like a firehouse? This is our house. This is where the firefighters live. There's a large table and there's a large kitchen, and we'll walk into the kitchen. And the firefighters spend 24 hours a day here. So when they come in the morning, they check the equipment, make sure it's all ready. They clean the fire station, and then they do some training, and then they prepare lunch. But you know what? They may be preparing lunch and they get a call, and that means they have to leave. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the kitchen and you get to see. This is a little bit larger than the kitchen that you have at home. It has a larger stove, and we actually have 3 different refrigerators. And people say, why 3 different refrigerators? And that's because we have 3 different group of firefighters working. Remember we said we have 3 different shifts, A, B, and C. That's why we have 3 different refrigerators. Just like you do at home, they have a pantry. It's a larger pantry and just a bigger kitchen. So the firefighters take turns cooking. Now we're going to go visit the station officer's office, and it's just down this hallway, so follow me. Come on in and say hello to Lieutenant Kowal. Say hello to Lieutenant Kowal.
So this is where the officer does his reports, takes care of training records, and makes sure that everything we have for the station is taken care of. When we come in from any of our fire calls, we have to enter a report that goes down to our fire administration to make sure that everything was done properly and that there's a record of it.
Okay, boys and girls, what you're going to see now is basically what happens at night. The firefighters at night, they lay down and go to bed, but if they get a call, they get up and respond. And what you're going to see is the firefighter getting dressed as he's walking out. He will start getting dressed here, putting on some of his fire safety equipment, and as he's going down the hallway, he's also getting dressed, and then when he gets out to the engine, he'll continue to get dressed, and as they're going down the road, he'll continue to get dressed because we want to get there fast. Okay? Now let's see what the firefighter does.
How old is this fire station?
It was established in 1925, so that makes us about 85 years old.
Wow.
But this station is about 5 years old, but the department is about 85 years old. That's a very good question. Okay, boys and girls, now we're going to see the firefighters, what they do during the day. They have to stay fit, so they do exercise, and we're going to head down to the exercise room, so follow me. This is our exercise room, and you can see the firefighters doing some exercise. Come on in. Well, as you can see, we have a firefighter that's doing some exercise. Let's say hello to Firefighter Hurd. Hi, Firefighter. It's very important that the firefighters stay fit. Not only are they very well prepared training-wise, but they're also in very good condition. So as you can see, we have different equipment as you would see in a gym room or at a school. There's weights, there's a stair stepper, and a treadmill. And the firefighters, sometime throughout the day, they do exercise to stay fit, which is important. Well, it looks like Firefighter Hurd just got finished doing some exercise. Why don't we have the firefighter tell us a little bit about what his day's been like. Firefighter Hurd, tell us about your day.
Thank you, Chief Molina. Well, it's actually been a little productive today. We've done a lot of training, and we've watched some videos on training, and we've gone to other fire stations to do some training. Well, when we start winding down a little bit, I got to find some time for me to do some training, physical training, because our job, you know, is very physically demanding. So as you can see, we got lots of weights and things that we get to choose from to do our training. You can see I'm a little winded because I just got done. But it's all a part of our day here at the fire station number 6.
Very good. Let's give them a hand. Well, boys and girls, as you have seen, we saw the firefighter doing some exercise, staying fit. Safety is very important, and we talked a little bit about safety. Remember, we talked about smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, and we also talked about the fire extinguisher. Who can tell me what number we dial if we have an emergency? Madison, what's that number?
911.
Very good, excellent. And you know what? When that smoke alarm sounds, when that carbon monoxide alarm sounds, your job is to get out and stay out. So if the smoke alarm sounds, what is it that you do? Get out and stay out. Very good. And what number do we dial if we have an emergency?
911.
Well, very good. I have another question. What is it that we do if our clothes catch on fire? Madison?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Very good. Can you demonstrate on this mat here how we do the stop, drop, and roll? We stop, we drop, and we roll. Very good. Let's give Madison a hand. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see the fire engine and the fire truck and the ambulance. So follow me. And the paramedic is going to tell us a little bit about what they're doing.
This is Firefighter Williams and Firefighter Hurd. They're just back here. We're all paramedics, primarily at this station. We never know what kind of call we're going to go on, so these guys are checking all their equipment, make sure we have all kinds of equipment, medicines, all different kinds of bandages, all different kinds of things that whatever we might encounter, they'll be able to handle back here in the ambulance. And this is the stretcher we use to transport our patients on to the hospital.
All right, you guys climb in there. All right.
When we're back here, this is where we do our patient care. Whether it be sitting in this seat here, sitting in one of these other 2 seats, we're going to be starting IVs on people. We're going to be putting them up to a heart monitor. We might be connecting them up to oxygen. Here's an oxygen portal that will put somebody on oxygen. We've got all kind of bandages and splints back here to help somebody if they've got injured arms, legs. No matter what anybody has going on back here, we can primarily handle it until we get them to the hospital. Up here, we've got all of different medications, different masks. There's just a variety of different tools at our disposal to be able to help no matter what we come across.
So boys and girls, you guys had an opportunity to look at the ambulance and meet the paramedics. Now we're going to have Lieutenant Kowal tell us a little bit about the fire engine. Lieutenant Kowal, can you tell us about engine 6?
You bet. This is fire engine number 6, and on this we have several tools that we can use when we're going into fires. Some of our favorites that you usually see are the axes. We can use this to open doors and open walls and get to the fire. All these fire engines carry about 500 gallons of water on them so that we can attack some of the smaller fires, and then we can lay hose and catch fire hydrants for larger fires. We carry hose in the back, and then we carry hose right here that we carry inside to the fires.
Let's say hello to Firefighter Chris.
Hi, Firefighter Chris.
Hey guys.
All right, so we're going to have Firefighter Chris put on his equipment, and he's going to do it at a slow pace because I'm going to talk about every piece of equipment. So we're going to have Firefighter Chris start off, and he takes off his regular boots, and then he starts putting on his fire boots with his fire pants. And as you see, those are assembled together. It's kind of a shortcut. He stands up, and then he pulls the bunker pants up with the suspenders. Up they go. That's pretty neat. Shoes and boots and pants all together in one step. Let's give him a hand. Very good. Well, let me tell you about his equipment. He's got special boots that have a steel toe. He's got special pants that are fire safety pants, and they're pretty heavy. And then he has these special suspenders. And the reason he wears the suspenders is because these pants, when they get wet, they are very heavy. So now he's going to put on his coat. And that coat is also made out of the same safety material. And once he's fully dressed, we're not going to see any part of his skin. That's a special coat. Now he has a special hood that he's going to put on. And then he starts to buckle up his coat. And you can see that that coat has some special reflector markings at the bottom, at the middle, and at the top. And that's for us to see him. If he's working in the dark, we shine a flashlight and we get to see that. And that's also his name. Very good. Now he's going to put on the rest of the equipment. This is a special air pack that we utilize. The only reason that we're able to go inside a fire is because we have all this special equipment and we have a special tank that has fresh air. Remember what I said? When the smoke alarm sounds, your job is to get out and stay out. So what do you do when the smoke alarm sounds? Get out and stay out. And his job is to get inside and conduct a rescue and put the fire out. So now he's putting on his bunker gear and his air pack, and we're going to have him turn around. And this is a large tank that has fresh air, and it lasts about 30 minutes. And now what we're going to see is how he connects this fresh air to a mask that allows him to breathe that fresh air. There's not much skin visible anymore, is there? Little by little, he's covering up all his skin. Now he's got the hood over. He's got a special mask that has a large opening, and that opening there hooks onto this hose, and he's going to have fresh air. Firefighter Chris is no longer breathing the air we're breathing. He is breathing the air in this special tank, and that's about 30 minutes of air. So now the only skin that's visible are his fingers, and he's going to get those covered up, okay? So he's got the helmet and the gloves. Remember what I said? That the firefighters actually start getting dressed as they're leaving the inside of the station. Remember we saw the firefighter roll out of bed and start to put on his bunker pants and start to walk out here, and they continue to get dressed as they're climbing inside the engine, and as they're going down the road, they're getting dressed. And now what we have seen is Firefighter Chris get dressed here slowly, because you know what? If he did it at regular speed, you wouldn't see anything but a flash. Now he's fully bunkered. Can you see any skin?
No.
All right. But you know what? When the firefighter goes inside the house to conduct a rescue, he's not standing. He's crawling low under smoke, and he'll have some kind of tool with him. So we have Firefighter Chris. As he's coming inside the house, he's going to be crawling low under the smoke. If for some reason, remember what I said, if the fire alarm sounds, if the smoke alarm sounds, your job is to
Get out
and stay out. Never hide inside. But if for some reason you're stuck inside, you never hide. Your job is to let him know that you're inside. So you yell real loud, help. On 3, can you do that for me? 1, 2, 3.
Help!
And Firefighter Chris is going to hear that, and he's going to go inside and rescue you. Let's give him a big hand. Do you hear that beeping sound? If he doesn't move for a few seconds, and then the alarm sounds. If he stays still, and the reason that's a safety device, let's say he gets trapped, something falls on him, and the room is full of smoke, and we're going to go in there and rescue him. We can't see him. We hear that beeping. And then it gets louder. And then it gets louder. And then it gets louder, and the only way it quits is by him moving. He's got to do the Macarena or turn it off. Let's give him a big hand. Remember Lieutenant Colwell? Very good. Lieutenant Colwell is going to tell us about this piece of equipment here that he's standing in front of. Lieutenant Colwell?
Well, guys, this is called Rescue 6. It's a heavy rescue truck, and it has lots and lots of tools, just about every tool you can think of. And what we do with this is respond to kind of unusual accidents, like big building collapses or very complicated car accidents. Or sometimes people are working on lines that go underground and the earth collapses around them. Well, this team who rides on here, they specialize in doing those special rescues. So we carry lots and lots of really cool tools on here. These right here are the jaws of life. We would use these to pry open cars after a big car accident. That's just one of the many tools we carry on here.
It's big.
It's very big.
Well, boys and girls, this pretty much concludes our station tour, but I'd like to see if you have any questions for myself or for Lieutenant Colwell. Okay, let's take questions, and we'll start from my right and then move on to my left.
What if you're not here, like the employees aren't here, but then there's a call?
Very good question, and the question is, what happens if there's a call in this neighborhood, in this district, and the fire engine and the ambulance is not here because they're busy at another call? And then our dispatch center has a special computer that tells them which is the next closest engine and which is the next closest ambulance, and they will send that unit. Very good question. Next question.
How long do you have to go to school to be a firefighter?
Very good question. How long do we have to go to school to be a firefighter? And we'll have Lieutenant Colwell answer that question.
Well, fire school, if you take it every day of the week, if you were to go all day long, it usually takes about 7 or 8 months. So it's a lot of studying. And some people do it where they take it just in the evenings or a few days a week, and it can take up to 2 years.
A lot of training. And then they go to paramedic school. Is that correct, Lieutenant?
That's correct. And paramedic school also, when we go to paramedic school in this department, it takes us about 8 months of solid training every day. So we'll do 5 days a week and usually a day in the hospital. And it's also a 2-year college program.
Wow, a lot of school. Very good. Our next question?
Are employees off on holidays?
Are the firefighters off on holidays? That's a good question. Lieutenant Colwell?
Well, there's 3 shifts of people here. So we have A, B, and C shift, and they all work for 24 hours. There's always somebody at the fire station. Every day, Monday through Sunday, okay? 7 days a week, Christmas, Easter, it doesn't matter what day, Sundays. So it's like the chief said earlier, this is a firehouse. I live here for 1/3 of my whole life. And my family's used to me being gone on Christmas, 1/3 of the Christmases. So it's a very unique job where you will always have somebody at that work.
Very good question. Our next question?
How do you work a fire extinguisher?
How do you operate a fire extinguisher? Do you guys remember when we did the station tour, we saw a fire extinguisher and I talked about the importance of having one at home? It's very important to have one at home and follow the instructions, but it's very easy. What you do is you grab the extinguisher, you pull the pin, you point the hose, and then you sweep. That's how you use an extinguisher. But it's very important to have an extinguisher at home. Excellent question.
Where do y'all get your medical supplies?
Where do we get our medical supplies? Very good question. We have medical supplies not only on the ambulance, but also on the fire engine. We have 11 fire engines, 8 ambulances, and 4 paramedic trucks. Every piece of equipment has medical equipment, so that's a lot of medical equipment, and we have special contracts with special vendors that have that type of equipment. They supply that equipment to hospitals, and they supply that equipment to the fire stations. Very good question. Our last question.
Y'all decorate the fire station on holidays?
Do we decorate the fire station on holidays? Excellent question. Lieutenant Colwell?
Absolutely. We get out, especially around the Christmas season, we'll have lights up on the station, and we usually put a tree up in the living room. We celebrate all kinds of holidays. I know at Thanksgiving, which is just around the corner, we're going to have everybody's family comes up and we have dinner together here. So we'll have 20 or 30 people in here, all our kids and everybody come up because we are one big family here.
Very good. Well, excellent questions. You know what? We ran out of time. Everybody's enjoyed the tour.
Yes.
Let's give Lieutenant Kowal a hand. Well, as we get ready to leave, we're going to have Lieutenant Kowal get all the firefighters so we can get a picture. But you know what? You guys have learned so much information and you guys have answered all my questions that now you are junior firefighters and I have a special gift. So follow me. So now you guys are certified junior firefighters. Excellent. Very good. So what do you guys think? Now you guys can help us be a safer community by following those fire safety tips. And I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. What number do we dial if we have an emergency?
911.
What is it that you do when you hear the smoke alarm sound?
Get out and
Stay out. And what is it that you do when your clothes catch on fire?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Wow, there's no question that you guys are junior firefighters. Excellent. Very good job. Congratulations.
Everybody look at me and wave.
So what do you guys think of the tour? Did you guys enjoy the tour? Yes. Very good. Excellent.
Hi, Chief.
How you doing, Kathy?
It's good to see you
Good
again.
to see you.
I've been having a great time meeting some of the firefighters, and now I came back to find out what you guys learned on the tour. Did you learn a lot?
Yes.
All right, I've got to ask you some questions. Let's see. How about this one? What number do you dial in an emergency?
911.
Very
Good job. If your house catches on fire, what do you do?
Get out and stay out.
Very good. All right, last question. If your clothes catch on fire, what do you do?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Very good, Chief. It sounds like you taught them well.
They have all graduated and they're junior firefighters. Let's give them a hand.
Very nice.